Ugh. Good morning. How are you, Angela? I gotta stop being late to my own live streams, right? Oh, mom life. Oh no. Elijah, where is he? You okay? Where did he hit you?
My hand.
Okay. Why don't you go get your ice pack out of the bathroom and just kind of gently place it on your face where it's swelling. Hey, Santa. Hey, Steph. Happy to have you here. The show of two siblings, Lexine, Orly's here. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Okay. What happened? Oh, little Eli hit Timmy in the face. Eli's 3, Timmy's 13. Normally he'd be able to handle it, but he had surgery. He had dental surgery, so his cheeks are swollen and sore and kind of bruised. Hey, Allie. Hey, Derek. Hey, Brittany. Yawn. Min from the Philippines is here. Good morning, Vias. So, I love your makeup, Miss Norland. Thank you. Hey, Jana. Hey, Wilma. Oh, Wilma, your name is, that's your mom's name. Your name is Anna, right? Is the Wilma account? Your name is Anna, though, right? Trying to remember everybody. When you use different people's platforms and then I have to remember somebody's name, that's different. Ah, I got it right. Yes, it is Anna. Hey, Jana Mohammed. Good morning. So you saw the title of today's message. It was called, What Should I Do With My Life? Do you ever wonder that? Do you ever think, man, what should I do with my life? Oh, yeah. So that's, that blue thing is meant to hold ice packs. So he had 3 wisdom teeth removed, but that's not even really why we went. So one of his adult teeth that was supposed to grow down and push out the baby tooth turned around and it had grown up into like his sinus cavity. So they had to do this major surgery to remove this adult tooth. So he just has a baby tooth where it should have been. They weren't able to surgically turn the tooth around and make it grow down the right way. So they just got rid of it. So hopefully, I don't know how long his baby tooth will stay, but when it eventually falls out, then he's either gonna have a hole, like not a tooth, or we're gonna have to get a dental implant put in there since the tooth. So it's pretty sore. He hasn't been able to really eat since Tuesday. I've been making him like shakes and smoothies, but he's not really interested because he normally drinks everything through a straw, and he's not allowed to drink through a straw because it can, the sucking motion can pull out the blood clots where the holes are in his teeth and it's starting to heal. I don't, dental stuff has come a long way though. They were able to like take blood from him while he was out and spin it really fast in a certain way where it separates like, kind of like it separates the plasma, but that wasn't what they called it. It separated something else from it, and it created like a white, like a gel thing. And they put that inside the holes and sewed it up with stitches so that it's supposed to have a lot more red blood cells in, so he'll heal quicker. But he's miserable. He's been looking like a chipmunk all week. Today's a little better than normal, but he was looking like way bigger than that. He was, hey, Junior. So he's just been eating like super soft bread. That's about it. And maybe a couple times a day. And juices, and I don't know. Hope he doesn't get too skinny. But I can't get him to eat. It's just so uncomfortable, and it's so sore. He can't like open his mouth big, and he can't have anything crunchy for like 2 or 3 weeks minimum. They say up to 4 to 6 weeks, possibly. So anyway, any of you who've ever had like extensive teeth stuff done, you know. Hey, Colin, thank you. Gianna, yeah. You should make a difference and help people in your Katherine. I'm not sure what you mean, Lexine. in your life, Catherine. Maybe they meant in my life, or maybe they meant in my live stream. I don't know. Okay. Lily asks, do you like hip hop dancing workouts? Oh, they're kind of fun. I haven't done one of those in a couple years though. Hey, Tommy. Oh, Kathleen is here. Guys, my coach just hopped on. You guys know, you hear me talk about my coach all the time. She hopped on for a quick minute. I don't know how long she'll be here, but yay. Yes, thank you. So I was asking you guys, it'll take 6 weeks for him to heal. Yeah. So the person's called Light Up Your Life. That's my coach. So you guys, I know some of my clients are on, but I am her client. So my coach is Kathleen Seals, and she's like a business coach, but I think she does all kinds of coaching, business, and if you're a speaker or an entrepreneur, all different kinds of coaching she does. So she's been helping me with my online course and everything else I need. Thank you, Tommy. It's me. I don't know why I'm on as this channel, but here I am. She doesn't even know how she got here. She must have clicked something. I think I put a link to my live on my story post, so maybe she accidentally clicked it. You don't have to stay. I know you got stuff to do. Busy mom. Okay, TDS says, hello, Catherine. Love from India. You motivate me through your videos. Guys, I have a special announcement. I know I have a lot of fans from India. I'm possibly next year going to be working on a new series, I'm not sure yet if it's going to be a YouTube series or if it's going to be an online course, but I'm working with someone from India, from Calcutta, on an acting course. So many of you guys have been asking me about acting, advice and tips, and this gentleman was well known in India. He's been acting in America now for I don't know how many years, at least 10 or 15. But he was well known in India, and yeah, so he was going to India earlier this year to do an acting workshop. But we're gonna team up and we're gonna produce an acting workshop for you guys. So I'll have more information on that to come. But the question for today was, what should I do with my life? Do you ever feel like that? Do you ever not know, maybe you're still unclear of what your purpose is or what you're supposed to do? Hey, Vader the Hedgehog. Yes, I am the girl from Dhar Mann. If you ever wonder, like, what are you supposed to do with your life? What should I be doing? Maybe you don't feel like you have a total purpose or an aim. Steph is saying yes. You know what, Vias? I don't know if he goes by a different name in India, but here in America, he goes by Tony Mirkandande. Yeah, he's been in tons of big movies out here, and he's worked with tons of big Hollywood stars. Way more big budget movies than I have worked on. So for those of you who don't know what to do with your life, like you don't necessarily know your specific calling or purpose, maybe you have a general inkling, like Steph loves to do makeup, or maybe you like to work on cars, maybe you like skateboarding, maybe you like whatever it is, whatever you're kind of inclined to do, that is tied into your purpose. It's tied into what you're supposed to be doing, but it's not like the thing, right? Like I write poetry and I act, but that isn't my purpose per se. That's just a vehicle I use to get to my purpose. Does that make sense? So whether you paint houses or whether you are a pharmacist, that isn't necessarily your life's purpose, but it's the vehicle through which you drive to your life purpose, for lack of better ways of explaining that. So I want to read you just 2 stanzas from Poems with Power to Strengthen the Soul. I found this one by Maud Louise Ray, and it's called My Task. So this is our task. in a general sense, that whatever you do, whatever you find that you're supposed to do with your life and your occupation, it should always pierce through the hearts of mankind. You've heard me say that before. A dream just for you is a selfish dream. It's got to pierce through the hearts of mankind so it can help other people too. So this is what this woman writes. To love someone more dearly every day. This is our task. This is what we're supposed to do. This is our purpose, right? To love someone more dearly every day. To help a wandering child find his way, right? That's why we have coaches, right? My coach helps this wandering child find her way. To ponder a noble thought and pray and smile when evening falls. So you've got loving someone more dearly, helping a wandering child find his way, pondering noble thoughts and pray. That's the first half. And smile when evening falls. Then our task, what we're supposed to do, is follow truth as blind men long for light, right? So you seek the path of truth. For me, that's God and what God is doing in my life and what I'm supposed to do through others, through him and what he's been giving me. And then follow truth as blind men long for light, to do my best from dawn of day till night. So pretty simple, right? Pretty simple so far. Sometimes we make it more complicated. Love someone more dearly every day. Help a wandering child find his way. Ponder noble thoughts and pray. So you're thinking of things, what's noble. You're thinking of things that are high, that are good, that are pure, that are, you're not thinking of debauchery and doing somebody wrong and trying to get ahead and screwing someone over to step on them to get to where they're going. So that's, the pondering noble thoughts and pray. I was just reading this morning in the scriptures, and it was talking about why don't we have what we want? And it was saying you don't have what you want because you don't ask God. We don't have to screw people over. We don't have to eat someone up alive. We don't have to mess with them and take them out so we can get ahead, because it's not a competition in life. We don't compete with anyone except we try to be better than who we were yesterday. So the only person we're really competing with is ourselves. So ponder noble thoughts and pray. Follow truth as blind men long for light. To do my best from dawn of day till night, and keep my heart fit for his holy sight. Are you keeping your heart pure? Are you keeping your heart clean? Are you, is what you long for in life something that God would like? Is it something that's pure and holy in his sight? And the last thing we need to do is answer when he calls. That's it. That's how simple it is. It doesn't have to be confusing. If you're loving someone more dearly every day, you're helping someone who's lost find their way. You're thinking of noble thoughts and you pray. Hey, Radu. Oh, yeah, I'm ready for your questions in a sec. Follow truth as blind men long for light. Do your best from dawn until the night. Keep your heart fit for his holy sight. And then answer when he calls. That's it. It doesn't have to be complicated, right? And you can do all of those things. I've only ever wanted to help people and make them feel beautiful and special. Exactly. And that's how makeup ties into your calling. Doing makeup, but on a deeper level, Steph, what are you doing? You're helping raise someone's spirits. You're getting someone out of their funk. You're showing them that there's, that they can feel good about themselves and feel confident. And you're taking that time with them to, you're doing it. You're doing it. And sometimes we don't know. Sometimes what we do is a thankless job, and sometimes we will never know. Radu, no, I don't watch anime currently, but I used to watch a show called Sailor Moon, I think. And I watched some cartoons in the 80s, but I think that's probably different than the anime you're talking about. When I was a kid in the 80s, I watched cartoons then. So you're doing what you're doing. Hey, Karen, good to have you here. So what you're doing pierces through the hearts of mankind, and it's, you know, we're here to lift each other's spirits, right? Iron sharpens iron. The scripture is full of telling us how we should encourage each other. So are you setting out to encourage each other? Are you setting out to say a kind word to the person at the grocery store, to the person teaching your child preschool, to anybody? You know, you never know how beat down somebody is. You never know when a little word or something you might do might open up the window of a mind that seeks the light, right? You guys have heard me say that poem on here before. So what can you do? And this is the hardest part. When you feel crummy, when you feel down, when you feel depressed, sometimes it's hard to pick your head up and see around you that others are hurting, right? It's hard to see, you know, when you're, and this is why it's so important not to have your focus inward. Because if we're only thinking of ourselves and our problems and what we're going through, then we can't help others who are hurting. You know, you may be the very person that's going to send someone a kind word, someone that may be at the end of their rope, they're done, they don't want to fight anymore. They may be at the, I maybe used this example before, they may be at the grocery store with a bottle of wine and a steak, and they say, I'm going home, I'm going to prepare my last meal, this is my favorite food, and then, but something you may say to them in the grocery store, like, hey, you know what? I really like your smile. Whatever it is where you're taking time to notice those around you and kind of key into them and see what they might be going through to give them an encouraging word. They may have said to themselves, nobody cares about me, nobody notices me, I'm nothing, I'm a nobody. I'm going to go prepare this last meal. If nobody says anything, nobody even says hi to me, I'm just going to go home and you could be that person that changes them. You could be that person that shows them that kindness that they say, wow, there is still a bit of humanity in the world, right? And who knows if God had put inside that person the cure for epilepsy, and they go home and they don't do what they were going to do because you spoke a kind word to them, and they go back to work and they find a cure for some disease. and it was you who gave them the will to live, right? It was you who said something that made them realize, you know what? I'm going to keep on going. I have this calling, I have this purpose, and I'm going to go for it. And I realize, so you never know that something you might do, even if it seems insignificant, even if they never say a word to you, even if they don't say, oh my gosh, you made my day, you're so amazing, I was going to go do this. You don't even know. Sometimes we may not know until we get to heaven the impact that we made on earth, because someone who's down and depressed, they might notice that you said something and it might make an impact, and they might go home and think about it later and be so grateful for you. But they weren't in a place where they had a chance to thank you. And I have a story like that in my life. Many of you guys may or may not have known that there was a time in my life where I tried to leave this world. Let's just say it that way, because we have some young viewers on here. There was somebody that found me and rescued me. I don't know where I was or where I ended up. But I woke up in the ER getting my stomach pumped. If this kind stranger had not rescued me, I would not be here today making an impact in your lives. So I never thanked that person. Frankly, I don't even know who they were. So that's kind of the full circle thing I'm talking about, because I've been there. And you guys, I know a lot of you have reached out to me that you're struggling with depression too. So reach out and touch someone else. When you're struggling, that's the best time to reach out to somebody else. Because when I find myself in a funk, I pull another from their junk then my wallowing in pity moans are silenced because I'm not alone. If I can help someone in pain, I have no reason to complain, right? And you guys will start to notice that when you're down, you feel like, I just want to stay home. I don't want to talk to anyone. I'm not going to turn my phone on. I'm just going to ignore the world. I'm just going to think all of how my life is so terrible and nobody loves me and nobody cares. But if you took that same effort in hating yourself and your life, and you turned outward and you looked to see who around, if you answered the phone, if you reached out, if you went to that party that you were invited to, even though you didn't want to go, you never know what kind of a turnaround you could do for someone else. And sometimes we don't realize when we're in the pit of depression, we don't realize, I know, I was there, we don't realize we're being selfish. And I know so many of you guys, you don't want to be selfish. You have big hearts. You're givers. You wouldn't be here if you weren't. You wouldn't be here if you didn't care. But sometimes our burdens feel like we can't bear them. They just feel like they are too much and we don't know how to get over them. And that's why it's so important to reach out. You'll notice, and many of you guys have told me, when you take my advice and you reach out to someone else when you're feeling like junk, it does something to you. It pulls you out of your funk. It pulls you out of your misery. It pulls you out of depression. And you link arms with another and then it feels like you're not alone. Like you're going through the battle together. Steph is saying, yes, that's me right now. Oh, congratulations, Radu, on your test. He got an A. See, here's the tactic of the devil. He wants to make us feel like we're all alone in the world, that nobody understands, that nobody could possibly know what you're going through. But that's BS. That's just a load of bull, because human emotions, that is universal. Yes, I may not know what it feels like to be robbed at gun. Well, yeah, I do. That's a different story. Never mind. I may not know something that you've been through. I may not know how that feels, but I know how the feeling feels. Does that make sense? I may not have been through the specific thing that made you feel ashamed, that made you feel embarrassed, but guess what? I have felt ashamed. I have felt embarrassed. And yes, that's right, Brittany. The devil can go, stick it, right? So every single one of us, no matter where you live in the world, no matter how old you are, knows what it feels like to be ashamed, to be embarrassed, to maybe not feel good enough, to not measure up. So don't let the devil try to separate us, but just because I may not know, or somebody may not know what it feels like to have your parents slap you with a broom. Whatever, I'm just making stuff up. We know what the feeling feels like, even if we don't know what the broom feels like. Does that make sense? So I want you guys, this is what I'm trying to do in my community here, is to create a community where we can link arms, or where we can be there for each other, where we understand, you know what? We've all been through tough times. Maybe your time may seem tougher than others. You know, there's people that are going through stuff right now that I can't even fathom. And they're keeping their chin up and they're going for it. And there's people that are going through something that I may think, well, that's not much. Why are they crumbling? But it's all relative, right? So it may seem insignificant, and people may say, oh, just get over it. That's no big deal. But it's how are you taking it in? How are you internalizing it? How are you, what are you doing with that situation? Are you allowing it to make you bitter, or are you allowing it to make you better? And Steph says everyone's feelings are valid. Yeah, so you feel a certain way. And when you feel that way, there's no one can talk you out of it. There's no one that can say, slap yourself out of it. But it's helpful it's very helpful sometimes to have someone come and sit with you and understand. And it's also helpful sometimes to have someone listen, but then have that coach or that mentor that can help you see the silver lining, that can help you realize, you know what, this is terrible, yeah, but, you know, to have that, to bring that ray of sunshine, to poke through the clouds so you can see there is hope. You need someone to bring that glimmer of hope, even in the darkest times. Right now, I have people in our circle here who've been sexually assaulted. Well, the ray of hope in that sounds like, well, how are you ever going to find a ray of hope in that? Well, now this person now feels motivated to start up a support group for people who've been through something like that, so they have a safe place to go and talk about it, right? And there's another person on here that I know that has been through possible, you know, suicide attempts, and they have now a couple times led a group where they have people who are feeling that same way too. So that is sometimes a silver lining where you can go to someone who's struggling, feeling alone, and you can say, you know what? I've been there. I've been there. And sometimes that's all another person needs, is just to sit next to someone who knows they've been there, right? And can you be that for someone else? Okay, so Elena is talking about depression, and it's not easy. And when you have friends and family to support you, it'll be okay. Okay. Anna says, you sure bring me hope and encouragement. That's great. Katherine, do you think your children will work for Dhar Mann Studios? Well, Timmy's not really an actor. He's not really interested in that. So Eli's been in a couple just because, but I don't know what Eli's going to be with his life. I don't know what he's going to do. So it's hard for me to say. Steph said she had someone supportive and they left her. Well, there's us on here. There's us on here. And you'll eventually find someone in the flesh too. But that's one of the beauties of having the internet, is you find a lot of times it's a lot easier on the internet to find like-minded people than people in your own vicinity. I found that to be true anyway. Okay, questions. I'm now ready for the Q&A portion. Where's Robert? He's getting the kids ready for church. Oh, guys, it's so I'm teaching Sunday school today. So as you know, those of you who are on here, I usually only do 45 minutes on days I'm teaching Sunday school instead of an hour because I need to get to church earlier. Okay, does Ayden Mekus get mad? It seems he's always happy and smiling. I've never seen him mad, but I'm sure he gets mad. Everyone gets mad. Brittany says, it's a shame still dealing with mental illness, ED as an adult, because people took it more serious when I was younger, and it often makes me feel like I'm not sick enough for help. The stigma is ridiculous. Yeah. Oh, somebody sent me a gift. I got to go back through and see who sent me a little love gift. I think it's from Karen. Well, I see a K by it. All right, I was busy talking, so I didn't get to acknowledge. So thank you. Thank you for sending me the gift. But yeah, Brittany, and you may have to find a supportive community online. Yes, it was Karen. Thank you so much for your gift. So yeah, like, why do you have to be sick enough? It doesn't make any sense. So I would maybe take some effort to find, like, I would type in, like, there's probably like support groups. I would type in like faith-based or Christian ED support groups or something. You know, you don't have to get fully involved. You can go in there and peek around and see if it's something you want to get involved with. But finding people who are like of like mind, who are going through it, who are trying to recover through God's help, that would probably be very helpful to you. Try it out. You know, you don't have to commit to anything, but you may just find, you know, people who understand what you're going through because they've been there or are there. Just so you know, all my theory came back successful. So now I'm officially qualified, certified 3 in beauty therapy. Steph, I'm so proud of you. Amazing. Angela says, Katherine, this is what makes you an amazing coach. You have a big heart and you care, and your connection with God is amazing. Thank you. Hey, Shiza. How do you overcome stress? That's a big one. And I think that's something we all deal with. I put a video out recently on my channel about trying not to stack things when you're going through a stressful situation. And so I wish I knew what the name of that video was, because I would tell you to go watch it. As I don't have, thank you, Angela. Thank you for your gift. I don't want to get into a whole big thing on here about all the ways to get over stress, but I would say, well, it really depends on what you're stressed about, because I was about to give some advice based on my stress, but your stress might be totally different than my stress, and my advice I was about to give may not help. So sometimes, guys, when I don't give like a full, complete answer, or it doesn't feel like it hits the nail on the head of where you're at, it's because I don't have enough information about what you're dealing with. And it's really hard to give like pinpoint information based on like a general question. Does that make sense? We've got Levine Gamer just joined the live. Welcome. And if I haven't thanked you, Angela, for the gift, thank you. Katherine, I don't have a real friend that has my back. What should I do? Oh, that's a good question. I didn't have that for many years. I would start with, where are you looking for friends? I think finding people that you have camaraderie with, finding people that are on the same page with you, finding people that have a good heart. It's not always easy to find. I tend to find it more in the people who love God, but that doesn't necessarily mean people who go to church. So sounds like a weird thing to say, but people who really love God, they will really love humanity, because, you know, the greatest commandment says in both the Old Testament and the New Testament is to love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your mind, and all your soul, and to love your neighbor as yourself. So finding the kind of people who love others the same as just as much as they love themselves. People love themselves. That's funny. Even people who hate themselves love themselves. And I say that like maybe they don't like certain things about themselves outwardly or whatever, but they love themselves to preserve themselves, to keep themselves safe, you know, to protect themselves from harm. So finding someone who's going to be that person for you, I would find people who are like godly people and who are trying to do what's right for the world, because those people are going to be the ones that have your back. But I know what it's like to have a lot of fake friends. I had frenemies growing up. Okay, what questions do we have? My stress is dealing with pain. Okay, is this physical pain or emotional pain, Anna? Why did Sally stalk Miss Daisy Brooks and criticize her instead of teaching her class? Sally, which character was Sally? Was that my character? Why did Sally stalk Miss Daisy Brooks? Oh, because she had her own class. She was already teaching her own classes, and she didn't want to teach the troubled kids. Okay, thank you for your advice on stream 2 weeks ago. Sorry if I made you cry. I don't even remember. I remember crying, but I don't remember what we were talking about. Were we talking about grief? I think we were talking about grief. You didn't make me cry. It's okay. How are you? Lots of love from India. Well, hey, is it Paitka? Did I say your name right? Tommy says, I don't have friends or family. I just keep my faith in love of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And you know what? Band with others that are in your community that have that same love for God. I'm sure you'll find some good and true friends when you're finding people who align with the same values you have. Steph says, I can't stand me. I've been there, and I know there's some other people on this live stream that are there. But you're doing the right thing in trying to look outside of yourself and help others. But also, you know what? Try to look at what your good points are. You have good points. I mean, you've already said you love to help people, you love to inspire them, you love to make them feel beautiful. That's a good trait. And I would really encourage you to even make a list of what your good traits are. You know, is it your heart? Is it your caring? Is it, I know you've got a good heart. I know that you're caring. I know you go above and beyond to do your best. I mean, I looked at your goal poster that you made and you were like, oh, this is junk. I was like, that actually looks a lot better than my goal poster. And that's your not even trying. So you're good at what you do. You're precise. So these are all things you should make a list. You can even ask your teacher, your teacher of the class. Well, you're being boisterous this morning. Okay. If you have to ask a couple people because you're feeling so down in yourself that you can't even see your good traits, then I would ask some people who know you at least on the surface level, like your teachers and some of your friends on social. They'll be able to tell you some good traits. And the key is to focus on the good things and not focus on the bad things. We all have bad things. We all have things going wrong with us. We all have things that we can't stand about ourselves, or that we wish were better, or that we wish were different. But if I spent all my days focusing on the things I don't like or the things I'm not good at, I would never be as productive. I would never be as happy. I would never be able to reach the people I'm reaching. So, see, exactly, Steph, you're putting yourself down. But here's the thing. What you think is junk, other people think is amazing. I can give you one example. When I put out my first book, I'm compiling all the poems to put in it, and I got to one and I was like, oh, this poem is junk. I'm not even going to put this one in it. And I heard God speak to my heart and speak to my spirit. And he said, are you writing this book for yourself? And I was like, no. He said, well, I told you to because he told me which poems to put in the book. I told you to put this poem in the book. Just because you think it's junk doesn't mean it's not supposed to be in the book. So I was like, okay, well, I think this poem is a piece of junk. I'm putting it in because, I prayed and asked God which poems to put in. And the one I was going to throw out, do you know that a few months later, when the book came out, the first email I ever got feedback from someone who read the book told me they read this particular poem and they were thinking about themselves and they didn't because something in that poem. And guys, this was the poem I was going to throw out. This is the poem I didn't think belonged in the book. I didn't think it was my best writing. I was like, this is dumb, whatever my negative thoughts were. But that very thing is what changed a person's mind to keep going. So you guys have to quit judging yourself. You are not the best judge of yourself. You are too critical. I'm too critical of myself sometimes. And sometimes we just have to put it out there. We don't know the difference it's going to make. We don't know. If what we do is going to make a difference. The things that we call junk might be amazing to someone else. So God put this dream in your heart. He wants you to do this. You do it and you don't question it because you don't know who it's going to help. And is junk compared to what? So just because you could do better, does that mean you shouldn't put out your other stuff that's not perfect or as amazing? No, we keep moving forward and we keep putting our stuff out there. Sometimes what we don't think is our best is going to be that thing that makes a difference for others. Does that make sense? Okay. Shanty says, I don't get notifications, so when you go live, can you please tell me? I have subscribed to your channel, but I don't receive notifications. Did you check the bell button? I think that's, guys, tell me, is that what you're supposed to do? So you can subscribe, but they won't tell you unless you click the bell button, because the bell button is for notifications. So do that. But just so you know, I go live 8 a.m. every Sunday morning Pacific Standard Time. Okay. Katherine, help me. I want to be a YouTuber but my family member don't agree. Please don't ignore me. Victor, so what are you waiting for? Why is it, are you not 18 yet? Are you not allowed to do something your parents don't tell you to do? You know, you do want to respect your parents while you live with them. And maybe if you're younger, maybe you can have a conversation with them and let them know what you're trying to do or what you want to do. Maybe you'll have to wait till you're 18 if they don't agree with you. I don't know. My son has a YouTube channel and he's 13. But I'm letting him do what he wants. I know some parents are more controlling, I understand. But if they are, I would have a conversation with them and tell them why you want to do it. Tell them why it's so important to you. Maybe you can come to some kind of compromise. Via says, I feel embarrassed sometimes when I listen to my own podcast with other people in the room. I think of it as me doing the right thing. So you feel embarrassed when you listen to it back? If there's other people in the room, is that what you're saying? Okay. Angela, did what I think happened just happen? I'm not sure what you guys are referring to. Did you ever meet the lady who played Miss Jacobs, the lady who walked out on her students? But no, I don't know. I don't think I was there that day when they filmed that, or I had a later call time. Elijah, what's going on? I have to demonstrate perfect cleaning standards when I move out. I am trained to be super organized. Okay, that's enough. That's loud. You want to say hi? Say hi, Spidey Man.
Hi, Spider-Man.
Say, how are you today? I say, are you overcoming your fears? Are you kicking the devil's butt?
I'm kicking the devil's butt.
Say, are you walking in your purpose?
I'm walking in my purpose.
Say, don't listen.
Don't listen
to the devil.
To the devil.
Or to the mean people.
To the mean people.
Who are crushing.
Who are crushing.
Your dreams.
Your dreams.
Believe in yourself.
Believe in yourself.
Love God.
Love God.
And love others.
Love others.
And do your best.
And do your best.
Always.
Always.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the pep talk. Okay, what do we got here for questions? Thank you for your advice on your stream 2 weeks ago about how to help my boyfriend who had depression. He's better now, but at the time he self-harmed. I'm glad he's better now. Fearly Battle. Hi, Katherine. It's me. I'm back. What do I do? I do want to be a YouTuber, but no one supports me. Do you need someone to support you? Sometimes you just have to go do what your dream is. Go do what your passion is and not ask anyone, but just do it. Of course, if you're under 18, you may want to consult with your parents. I'm not telling you to go against your parents' advice. Okay, so if they don't agree, talk to them. Okay, has anyone here seen the Dhar Mann ripoff channels on YouTube? They are creepy. I've seen a couple. Oh my gosh, and I've heard about some of the scenarios. Like, dad gets rid of his daughter when she was a baby and he later goes to hire a prostitute and it's his daughter. And I'm like, what the what? No. Oh my gosh, these people are so bad. I've also, a couple years ago, seen some of the ripoffs where they were literally taking the exact same script. Like, they stole the script word for word. I remember because it was one I was in, and they just refilmed the entire thing with different actors who weren't as good. So they didn't even try to, maybe 3 words in the entire 8 minutes were different, but that's because the actor probably forgot the exact word. So yeah, they're pretty cringy. Katherine, I don't have the right equipment to record, but I have talent and I have more than 10,000 views. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. Yeah, thank you. You don't need the right equipment. Okay, if you don't have a light, you film Open up your window and film when it's light out. If you don't, I don't film on a camera. I don't film my YouTube videos on a camera. I just use my phone. You don't need the right equipment for YouTube. You're not making a feature film. You're not making a feature movie. If you're on here watching this, that means you have the right equipment. It means you either have a computer or a phone or an iPad, and you can record on any of them. I don't use a special microphone. I just use the microphone that's on my computer or phone or camera. Right now I have a ring light on. Okay, here's what it looks like without it. Okay, it's not the best lighting, right? But it would work if I didn't have, but although the windows are closed, this is just one light in the room. So you can just grab your lamps and put them around you and have the light source coming in if you don't have a ring light. This ring light was like $100, 99 bucks or something like that. So it helps, yes, but I think you guys might still watch a video if it was this dark, right? If you didn't see any different, but it doesn't have to be this dark. Like, let me give you an example why you don't need equipment. I'm just gonna get up and go. Okay. So, when it's light out, like right now, oh, I'm in the kitchen. Look at this lighting. This is even better than my ring light. All I'm doing is filming at an open window, right? So if you have your camera pointed in the right direction, you can see that this is even better than my professional lighting. So you guys have to not make excuses, right? You have to find a solution. Instead of telling me all the reasons you can't do something, let's figure out how you can do it. So Google, get on something and research, like, how do I do this? How do I make a video if I don't have the right equipment? You will find people who've done it and who will show you the secrets. Outside lighting is the best lighting. Don't I look better, more lit? And it's not even a sunny day. It's totally gloomy and foggy. And this lighting looks better than the lighting in my studio. So I'm just telling you guys, if you really want something, don't make excuses. All right, here's my studio. I've got a professional light here. Let me turn it on. For my light up my green screen, I've got the lights up there for the hair lights. I've got this light. I've got this light to film my left side. I've got this light that films my right side. This is a sheet to make it look so the light's not so harsh. And then here where I was sitting, I've got my little ring light that I turn on. So yeah, I have a whole setup here, but I just proved to you guys that you could just open up a window and film and it's gonna look even better. So I'm all about finding solutions and not just making excuses. I know some of you aren't making excuses. You truly don't understand that there is a way you could do it, but this is just one of the ways I'm showing you that whatever you have a desire to do, you can do it, and there are solutions, right? So I gotta go teach Sunday school now. So we'll see you next Sunday. I have a video coming out Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. What is a hair light? Serious question. So when you're sitting here against the green screen, if you don't have a hair light on to separate you from the background, and you'll see this in a lot of movies where people have their hair is lit. So the lights up there, when I turn those on, that'll light the back of my head and it will separate me from the background. So it's easier to keep, to do the green screen and all of that. There's a bunch of reasons to have a hair light, but that's the scoop. All right, guys, 3 times a week I'm here, 8 a.m. and Sundays live. See you then.